Hi, I'm Ben Mankiewicz. Thanks for watching TCM and tonight's lineup of movies directed by Terry Gilliam, a bold and innovative filmmaker who will be celebrating his 85th birthday next Saturday. The director, Peter Bogdanovich, who was a good friend to TCM and to me, was a film journalist before becoming a director. Peter's best-known book from that time is a compilation of his conversations with some of classic cinema's best directors, called Who the Devil Made It. That's a line from the filmmaker Howard Hawks, who believed a director should leave his mark on a film. That when you see a movie, you ought to know just from the experience of watching it who the devil made it. Well, when you see a Terry Gilliam film, you definitely know who the devil made it. With Gilliam's history as a collage animator and founding member of the absurdist sketch comedy troupe Monty Python, it's no surprise that Gilliam is one of the most stylistic and inventive filmmakers of his generation. Much of his filmography has come from his original ideas. Up next, though, a film where producers specifically sought out Gilliam to direct because of his ability to tell complex and imaginative stories. From Universal, 1995, 12 Monkeys. It's a loose remake of the landmark French sci-fi film La Jetée, written and directed by Chris Marker. That film, just 28 minutes long, is primarily made up of still photographs and narration. It's the story of a man who lives in a post-nuclear apocalyptic world as he's sent back and forth through time searching for a way to save the world. Executive producer Robert Kosberg, a big fan of La Jetée, wanted to make a feature-length adaptation, so he approached the married writing team of David and Janet Peoples. Right away, they recognized a problem. The world had already been introduced to James Cameron's blockbuster sci-fi franchise, The Terminator, so the idea of telling another time-traveling story about nuclear Armageddon seemed like a recipe for an unfavorable comparison. They needed another world-ending problem to solve, so they came up with a preposterous idea, a worldwide pandemic caused by a mysterious virus. I mean, can you even imagine? The script they wrote is a non-linear, time-hopping detective story, so a perfect match for Terry Gilliam's skill set. At one point, Gilliam and his producers wanted the tandem of Jeff Bridges and Nick Nolte to lead the cast. When they fell through, Gilliam turned to two other actors. First, Bruce Willis at his peak in Hollywood. Second, an up-and-coming, marginally handsome actor on the cusp of stardom, William Bradley Pitt, who was looking for a role that would challenge him. When Brad Pitt was cast, Interview with a Vampire, Legends of the Fall, and Seven had yet to come out, but by the time 12 Monkeys hit theaters, all of them had, and Brad Pitt was a major Hollywood star. He earned his first Academy Award nomination for his work here. From 1995, also with Christopher Plummer and Madeline Stowe, 12 Monkeys. When producer Robert Kosberg had the idea to remake the French film La Jetée, he had a big obstacle ahead of him, getting permission from the man who wrote and directed that 28-minute film, Chris Marker. Marker had no interest in working with Hollywood in any capacity, let alone a remake of his film. To make matters worse, when Universal Studio execs first approached Marker about acquiring the rights, they brought along a 20-page contract for him to review. That was a mistake. The only thing Marker disliked more than Hollywood was Hollywood lawyers. Said he wouldn't even consider a deal unless they got the agreement down to 2 pages. Even then, he still was not inclined to sign it. So the studio arranged a dinner with a filmmaker Marker admired, and more importantly, a filmmaker he trusted, Francis Ford Coppola. Coppola knew just what to do. He waited until midway through the meal to say, "These men who want to make this movie, they're good people. You should let them do it." That was good enough for Marker. He said, okay. He was then presented with a 2.5-page rights agreement. It was close enough. The deal was done. Up next, our 85th birthday salute to director Terry Gilliam continues with another time-hopping story. This is Gilliam's breakthrough as a director, Time Bandits. It's next on TCM.
Next on TCM, Time Bandits, then Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and later, Monty Python's Life of Brian. Always look on the bright side of TCM tonight.